You finished, old man.
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
Okay, welcome to vlog number 10. This is the one where I talk about The Dark Knight Returns, because the most eventful thing of yesterday was when I saw both Dark Knight Returns 1 and Dark Knight Returns 2 back to back. And for those of you who do not know, this is not the Christopher Nolan trilogy that I'm talking about. I'm talking about the animated direct-to-video DVD feature, which was based on Frank Miller's Batman The Dark Knight Returns. This was not part of the mainstream DC comic universe, but it was an offshoot of it, where Frank Miller got the permission to make a different Batman universe, where he has been retired for the last 10 years and Gotham is in the dumps. Crime is at its highest. There's a new gang of leaders, of villains called the Mutant Gang, which basically is just all about slicing and dicing and killing mindlessly. The Joker, the Two-Face are in Arkham. Superman works for the government. And Batman's just Bruce Wayne, who's an old guy sitting at home chilling, having a drink, retiring and chilling with Commissioner Gordon. And Commissioner Gordon knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman. But the interesting thing about this graphic novel is that it came out 30 odd years ago, and it has such strong political undertones. It captures the spirit of the whole Russia and America's Cold War that was going on, and it mixes it with this universe where superheroes exist parallelly, and how they have been forced into retirement for the last 10 years because governments were threatened by them and all of that. But the best part about it is that the first time I read this book was about 8 years ago, and at that point of time I was awestruck. That was when I realized how dark Batman can get and how real a comic book can get. Frank Miller has been responsible for some of the most iconic books like 300 and even Sin City. He has a peculiar style, and it reflects in this, and it's very different from all the other Batmans that have happened. But the main thing is that this book has inspired a lot of mainstream Batman cinema and comic books, from be it old recluse drinking Batman as Christian Bale in The Dark Knight Rises, to be it an old Batman in Zack Snyder's Batman vs Superman. In fact, when Zack Snyder's main premise of Batman vs Superman was released, every one of us hoped that it was going to be inspired by Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, because it captures the rivalry very well without it being a forced fit. But sadly, Zack Snyder did not do it. He took parts of it. He took an old Batman. He took the bat suit in which Batman fights Superman. But a lot of the other interesting things that he could have taken from the book, he did not take. I have liked that movie, but I just wish he would have just taken this and put it, and it would have been amazing, because with so many plot points going on, Harvey Dent, Joker, Two-Face, Mutant Leader, Superman, it all still fits in right without being an overdose of information or assuming that you know everything. Robin is a girl in this one, and that's a fascinating change to see. And the movies, they released 2 movies as part 1 and part 2 in 2012 and 2013, and eventually they released a combined one called the Deluxe Edition. If you can, please get your hands on the book first and then watch the movies, because the books are in its own flavor. In fact, the books have a lot of interesting monologues of Bruce Wayne, where he's just talking about his inner conflict as Bruce Wayne or as Batman, trying to suppress the other. There are literally 2 people inside him who are trying to emerge. A lot of that has been cut in the movies, but that's okay, it's not that important. The other major differences are the Joker has an important role to play towards the beginning, from the beginning in the books, but in the movies he comes to life a little later. And but the conflict between the Joker and the Batman is one of the best that you will ever see. It's the grittiest, and Frank Miller brings out the worst in both of them. The end is a little devastating for me, considering I'm such a hardcore fan of both of them at the same point of time. I'm not going to give any spoilers because I'll ruin it for you, but watch it for the conflict and how effectively it has been brought to life without stretching it unnecessarily. The one between Superman and Batman is a political conflict almost, and how Batman uses all of Superman's weaknesses against him is amazing, and Oliver, who's the Green Arrow, for those of you who don't know, has a very crucial part to play in the entire thing. It all works very well. This is not the whole Justice League setup. This is way after all of that has happened and it's been disbanded. This is just so real. So if you can get your hands on the comic, read that first, give it some time, and then watch the movies back to back. Or if you've already read or seen them, please tell me in the comments below, what do you think of it? What do you think of my opinion? If you have something to add, you think I missed out something important? I might have. There's just so much to talk about. I could go on endlessly, but again, I don't want to make a very long video. So this is me, Xerxes, signing out. Please go watch The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. I know this is not the Christopher Nolan one. Goodbye.